Hello everyone, and welcome back to another race showcase. Now today's one's going to be a little bit shorter than what we're usually up to. 5 laps only at Bathurst, as we start here and there's two Ferraris in the same livery just flying straight past us. Now, this was a sprint race just like a regular lobby. You had to pit, you had to use medium and softs, as I'm trying to go around the outside of the Ferrari, but they're towing each other, so I can't really do anything. And you might be wondering why they're both in the same livery. Well, this is kind of like a practice lobby for our team event that we're doing, and both of them in Ferraris, so that's why they're in the same car and same livery. But 5 laps with 2 tyre changes, it pretty much means you pit either on the first lap or the last lap. So I was opting to pit on the first lap. And behind these two, I can tell these two were... well, the one up front was a little bit slower and was kind of holding the pack up of me and Moneyman here. And I realized a little bit, well actually right now, it's going to happen right now, yep, that they're both quite prone to mistakes. So I want to use that to my advantage at some point in this race. We're kind of already apart. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're actually pulled apart from the group behind from the start, but because of our little mistake there, the guys behind, or mainly one of them, just BMW, was able to catch up to us. As I go through the elbow, he's pretty much right up behind us. I didn't know this, but I had a sneaky suspicion because of the mistakes the front two were making that they were also on hards. So 3 of us are on hards, and the car behind me in the BMW is actually on mediums. So that's quite a bit of a strategy split here in the top 4. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to name the title of this, but here I'm going to make a little bit of a blunder because my intuition should have told me to stay out. Even though I'm on a hard tyre, staying out for 1 extra lap meant I would avoid these two and their mistakes and their fighting, while the car behind me has gone into the lead. Now, that's someone we've got to track, as I'm just going to speed up the footage. It's just pit lane change. And I came in a situation which I did not want, which was behind these two, which is kind of already going to happen with me following them in. And the other one was a BMW, a backmarker going past. So now I'm behind 2 mistake-prone drivers that kind of want to fight each other, even though they're teammates, and a backmarker. So now I'm going to be heavily slowed down. And it's at this point where I realize I've made a blunder, because if I stayed out 1 extra lap, I would avoid all the fighting which will ensue in a little bit, basically. As I go up towards the cutting, that Puto ahead, the BMW is going to make a mistake, and all of us are going to catch up. And me knowing the mistakes that might happen, I'm just going to stay back. So what that means is, if they make a mistake, if I was right up on their backs, I'd hit them, the ghosting would not come up. As the mistake happens, and I'm right up to the back of them again. Both of them made a mistake. And because of that, I'm actually going to go left, but because they're on the inside, I'm going to brake early, but because of the dirty tyres that Moneyman was on, as he went off the track, he's just slid around the place like it's an ice rink. It's quite funny, but he's still behind me, don't worry. He's about, I think, half a second. Sorry that I didn't record this in real time. By real time, I mean not having the gaps, as we have a much better launch off of Forest Elbow compared to the Ferrari. And now I'm sizing up a move here. If I can force him to go on the outside and pin him behind the BMW and send it up the inside, it means he can't really turn in on me. And that's what I'm going to do. He stays right, and that Puto is going to take the racing line. So now that Ferrari's pinned to the right as I got the inside, but he starts turning left and puts me onto the curb and grass, meaning I pretty much have to completely lift, because going on the grass, or especially that curb, will completely unsettle the car and pretty much make me hit him. And now going in here, I'm being overtaken, and I'm back on the curb again, so I kind of really have to take it really slow. And I've lost the position I've just gained across the top of the mountain. So that's not good. And while all this fighting and squabbling is happening, the leader's just gaining time on us. Remember, he started about 7 tenths behind us when we all were in the pit lane. So now we're all just losing time, and this is exactly why I said I made a blunder here. As we're going down the main straight, all 3 of us now, I think, are getting quite impatient, especially the front 2 on trying to get past Puto. So I can sense that as I go over the curb, when I literally just said don't use the curbs around here. because they unsettle the car. Way to absolutely ignore yourself, as we're all pretty much queuing behind this BMW, which is quite funny. And something which happens here, which sucks for me only, as he's overtaking through the grate, which is never something that happens, and you can see that little jolt there. The front three are lagging. This didn't happen with anyone else, only these three. So now I'm pretty much forced to kind of sandbag so I don't hit them. This is something I mentioned in a previous video where I was racing someone who had really severe lag issues, and I think it's something that you need to do. It's something which is slow down. It's something which we don't want to do, but I feel like when you're driving and other people are lagging, it probably means you're the one with bad internet connection. So it should be your responsibility to kind of play it safe, slow down, so you don't just take out the driver. That's my opinion anyways. But anyways, as we go down the straight, Punto's actually on my right, rear quarter panel, and those two are now towing each other, teammate power. But I need to defend against Puto here as we go in, and it's all good. But because of this little bit of defensive driving, they've pretty much pulled away from me. So now I've got to hope I catch them, and by the end of lap 4, I had to skip a lap because nothing really happened. I've caught them, and the person in the lead has come in, and they're about to switch to the hard tyre now as we go through, which is Hell Corner, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's Hell Corner. Murray's the last one. They're about 2 seconds up the road, the car in front. And remember, they were behind us, all three of us, so we've lost a lot of time. As I think finally, Moneyman's finally had enough of sitting behind, and he's gonna pry a move open, or pry a gap open, and I'm just gonna invade the space because, yeah, I'm sick of sitting behind him as well. And honestly, as soon as you start going a little wider on the cutting, going on that dirty line, yeah, no, you're not gonna hook the car in. As Moneyman makes another mistake, and that brings me right up to the back. So now, realistically, I've kind of driven a near flawless race here, except for the fact that I blundered the pit stop, or blundered the pit window. But I'm right behind him. All I need to do is pretty much have a flawless rest of this bit, so I can overtake into the chase. As we go down the mountain through the S's, keeping somewhat of a sizable gap, because again, I'm still a little bit scared of the lag. As we go through the dipper, I'm getting close and close, but this is where my one mistake happens, and it's quite subtle. As we turn in upper gear, I get on the power a little too early, and that little bit of oversteer, you can just see it there, and you can hear the tyres screeching. That little bit of oversteer has now broken me off, not completely, but now I've got a very weak toe, and again, the toe has been nerfed since the BOP update because everything's a lot slower. And now I'm kind of thinking, alright, that's it. But the car in front, like I said before, the curbs are bad as he strikes the curb and goes wide, and then he loses it a little bit, and that brings me and Moneyman back into the fight, as Moneyman's going to go on the outside here and force the BMW in. But the BMW is going to strike the curb. Again, unsettles the car, so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go right along the outside and onto the grass and pass him just on the line and take the fastest lap as a little bonus. So that is that. A bit of a short one, short 5-lapper, but it was quite fun to race in, and my blunder actually created a much more fun race for me. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.